Yeah, man, it's the one only DJ Chase, the host of the pregame party mix podcast. You know what it is, man, right here on DJ Chase Radio, wdjc-db, DJ Chase Radio, New York City, man, YouTube, DJ Chase TV, and the podcast, Spotify podcast, the pregame party mix podcast. We got the super talented, the dope, man, the Nigerian artist, AfroBeats artist, my guy, Teemanay. What's popping, bro?
I'm good, bro. It's good to see you again. What's good?
I'm chilling, man. I'm proud of you. I was like, hold on, I had to like look. I'm like, he got the jewels on. I'm like, okay. Nah, I know you working though, so I'm proud of you, bro. For real.
Thank you, bro.
No doubt. Yeah. So for the listeners, because I know I definitely said it crazy, pronounce your name correctly, so I make sure the listeners can say it right.
It's Teemanay.
Teemanay.
Right.
Yes. Teemanay. Yes, because I'm so used to speaking a certain way. So Teemanay. There you go. Yeah, so let's get into your background. I want to talk about your background. I want to talk about, how you came to be today, because a lot of times you see the artist, but you really don't know too much about their background. So you were born in Lagos, Nigeria, correct?
Yeah, I actually was born in Delta State, Nigeria,
Mm.
a different state from Lagos, but I grew up partly in Delta and partly in Lagos, Nigeria.
Got
Yeah,
you.
yeah, that's my origin, and that's where I come from.
Got you, man. Now, Africa is a huge continent. It's big as I don't know what. They don't even know how big it really is. It's very mixed. How was Lagos and where you're from? How is it different from other parts of Africa?
I feel it's different in a few ways. Although Africa as a whole, the struggle is the same, it's similar, but it's different in the sense that I'll call Lagos the survival of the fittest.
Mm,
It's a very, very much populated state, and generally Nigeria is a very much populated country. It's the most populated country in the continent,
mm.
with almost 200 million people
Wow.
in Nigeria,
Wow.
not counting the ones in diaspora, the ones outside the country. So there is the survival of the fittest, the struggle to survive. In Lagos, you find people who have 3 jobs a day.
Mm,
It's crazy. So it's like the struggle kind of molds you and builds you to become a resilient, and both molds you to become a fighter, you
mm,
know, such that if you are molded in a kind of environment and you grow up in a kind of space, wherever you find yourself in the world, you're always going to want to win. You have that winner mentality, that tireless mentality. And that's what has carried me this way and carried me this far in my music. So I'm grateful for that.
got you, man. And I want to ask this question because a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions about Africa, especially, because I read a lot as well too. And I know like, sometimes it's the colonialism, the imperialism of other countries coming into Africa as far
Right.
as buying, it's happening here in America too. But how do you feel about maybe like the Chinese control of the natural resources in Africa? How do you feel about that?
I feel a certain way because it sounds like modern day slavery, if I would put it that way.
Mm,
And it's actually unfortunate because we have to blame it on our leaders at the end of the day. It's our leaders that are actually putting us in debt,
mm,
by securing these loans, these billion-dollar loans from foreign countries, China in particular.
mm,
And because we do not have the means to pay back these loans, our leaders are signing contracts that are releasing our resources
mm,
as exchange for the loans. So if they loan money to African countries, the leaders sign agreements and a certain time frame for the payments of the loans with interest. And when that time frame is exceeded,
mm.
China will have the right to actually own some of the resources in our land. And I actually made a song about that in my first EP called Trouble,
Yeah,
where
that's why I asked.
I talk about that. Oh, really?
Mm.
You heard that record?
There you go. Yeah.
So that was like the pain, because that's what is going on in so many parts. For example, in Ghana, there's bauxite, there's so many resources, and they gave up a huge acre of land of bauxite and the ground to China,
Mm-hmm.
in exchange for loans
Mm.
to fund the country. And these loans are so cumbersome, we know that they're not going to be able to pay back. That's the problem. So
Yeah,
even if
yeah.
15 years from now, the
Mm.
loan is to like 2030, we know that by 2030, they're not going to be able to pay back. So they're putting the future leaders or the future presidents in jeopardy because
Mm.
all we have is new presidents inheriting problems, inheriting debts, inheriting situations that they cannot even fix. You have a new circle of 4 or 5 years to run the country. run back in more debt, and you dump the whole problem for the next president. So it just becomes a vicious circle.
Yeah, man, crazy. You know, and that's why I wanted to ask you, because I wanted to get a real perspective on it, because I can't have these conversations with people, you know. So I try to really, you know, I want people to understand what's going on, you know, not just the entertainment side, but as well as the real stuff that's going on. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, and how did you end up in New York? What made you just like, you know, how'd you end up here?
Well, New York is crazy because I'm gonna tell you this. New York wasn't the first place I was coming to when I was coming to the States. I was in Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna meet a friend in Atlanta, but you know, he flaked, you know, unfortunately. So God was trying to shape my destiny. And then when I landed in New York, my friend in Atlanta, the number wouldn't go through, he wouldn't pick his call. So I called my other friend in New York and I stayed in New York. But the thing is, what made me come to the States was also to like find a new environment to pursue my music. Prior to coming to the States, I was doing music in South Africa. You know, that was where it actually kicked off. I had my first song win a radio competition. And so I was about to like blow up, as they say, you know, because I was doing some interviews, some radios and TV, get a little exposure. For sure. Unfortunately, I lost my mom that same year in 2020. So
I just lost my mom in May. So I know it just happened. So it's rough. Yeah. So
bro, I'm sure our moms are gonna be talking in heaven right now as we're talking together. Crazy,
definitely, right? I know my mom is talking to everybody's heads off, so I know it's going on.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, so that's what happened. So I took a break. When I left South Africa, went back to Nigeria to mourn for a while, and then so that was when I decided to pick up myself after a couple of years and move to the States. So that was how I found myself in New York. And New York has been nice to me. You know, New York has given me that same Lagos kind of energy where you cannot afford to be lazy. You have to have the hustle spirit as a New Yorker.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. You see me, you know, I'll be on my grind. So, you know, I'll be on it. Right. You know, you said, you know, that you started making music in Africa, you know what I'm saying? Who would you say is like influenced you? Like what artists out there kind of, even if American artists, what artists influence you, excuse me?
Generally, like my main influences while growing up for music was Bob Marley, Fela Kuti, the founder of AfroBeats. And I listened to a little bit of R&B while I was growing up too. I listened to people like Craig David, so he has a lot of influence in my music even today. That's funny. Yeah, I listened to Boyz II Men.
Yeah.
You know, it was crazy. I listened to All For One. I listened to a lot of music, honestly. So it was more of, I listened to more of singers than rappers, you know? So that was why my music started developing in the side of singing more than rapping when I started doing music professionally. But my main influences were Bob Marley and Fela Kuti.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's dope. Those are the big dogs. Those are icons. So they good work. They work. Yeah. You know, and do you feel like, you know, coming from a struggle of, you know, like I said, African culture is really the hustle, and that's what we get it from over here. You know what I'm saying? The influences, the drums, you know what I'm saying? Just the pain and the suffering. Do you feel like music to you is your therapy?
You could say that, but not in totality. You know, it's also a passion for me because I'm passionate about it. So music is an escape, but not an escape from reality. You know, it's an escape from pain. So it's an expression of feeling. That's why I call it a passion for me. So the struggle actually inspire me because I don't want to fail. I can't afford to fail. There's so much on my shoulder. I have a lot to prove to myself first, not to anybody. Because I also have the winner mentality. Being a Taurus, I have this, you know, I always want to be the star of the show, be able the environment, be the life of the party. So that's already in my DNA. So the struggle just only inspires me to remember where I come from and to remember that no matter how far I go, I got to stay humble and I can't forget where I'm coming from.
For sure, brother. I love that answer, you know, because even me as a producer, like a lot of times people ask me like, what makes you, I'm like, listen, you know, like you said, it's a passion. It's something I would do for free, you know, and that's the thing with a lot of times with people, I think they don't really understand that concept of that. And I wanted to ask you too, the songs you have, you know, you put out so many singles up to the latest project. So, you know, do you like, because I know, you know, with Afro beats and rhythms and reggae, it's more like you have the one main producer and then you have the artist that works on that. Do you actually write with the producer, or you produce your music and then write with that? How do you what's your creative process like?
Sometimes I just write on my notes,
Mm,
and sometimes I hear the beat from my producer, and then it inspires a melody.
mm,
Then I use the melody to write something based on personal experience, or a
mm.
friend's experience, or someone's experience, or an imaginative experience.
Gotcha.
So I work actually both ways. I could write without the beat, I could write with a beat. And then sometimes I co-produce with my producer. I just add some more melodies.
Got you. That's fire, bro. And the classics. You got the something like that's my joint. The classics. I know that. I seen that firsthand. Yeah. How did you link with Akon? Like, how did that happen? You know what I'm saying? I want to speed this up a little bit. How did you meet the great Akon?
It happened in New York, bro. In New York, the same New York. That's destiny, right? Because I was moving to Atlanta, and then hold on, stay in New York. And it's crazy because he's from Atlanta. You never know. I may never have met him, even though I was in Atlanta.
Crazy, right? Yeah.
God puts you in the right position. So it was somewhere around 2019. My very close friend Dan, who was trying to like put me out there and push me. So he had there was a way, I don't know. He just called me up one day and he said, T, can you come to the city? Because prior to that, I had released a couple of singles.
Mm-hmm.
And so he called me to come to the city, and I was like, okay, what is it again? You always calling me to the city for stuff. So I just came to the city, like, today better be a good day because you woke me out of my sleep. And I'm not even lying to you. That day, I was actually taking a nap. So when he calls me, I usually do come when I'm ready, because he kind of put me in some position, maybe a fashion show or something, or to meet one or two people. So when I came, I got to him in the city. He was parked somewhere around 21st Street, and I got into his car. I'm talking about my friend CB. So I'm like, yo, CB, so what's up? What are we doing? So why I got into his car? My music was playing in his car because he's always playing my music.
Wow.
Both release and unreleased. So I'm like, okay, cool. So what's this? We're like, relax, T, relax. So we're like, my brother, relax. Nigerians, your blood is too hot. I'm saying, yeah, you gotta tell me why I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, I gotta leave. And then I look out the window, and then I see this black man coming out with an all-white dress, a white hat, a white T-shirt, a white jeans, and a white shoe from the building that was by the car.
Yeah.
Wait. That looks familiar. I mean, everybody knows Akon. You can't.
Yeah, he can't miss him. Yeah, he can't miss him.
You miss him, it gotta be Boo, his younger brother, because they look very much alike.
Got you.
Like, wait, isn't that Akon? And then CB started laughing. I'm like, what? Laughing. So Akon started walking towards the car. I'm like, he's walking towards the car. Can I go say hi to him? CB was like, yeah, you can go. So I opened the door. As I opened the door, I stood out. The next thing I heard from Akon's mouth was, yo, T, what's up? I was like, damn, he knows my name.
He'd be on it. He was on it. Yeah.
So he hugged me and he was like, yo, T, what's up? And then he entered the car. So, which means, CB had this all planned out, but I didn't know about it.
That's what's up.
So I was quiet for a minute because I didn't really know if this was really happening, or I was daydreaming. I'm like, maybe T will wake up later and it's a dream. So I was like, okay, let me just chill. Let me breathe first. And he just like, I love your music. I've heard a lot of your songs. CB has been playing your songs. I love what I hear. You're next, this and that. And then CB just drove. We drove around the city for like 2 hours. 2 hours for him the first day, and drove him to the airport. He was leaving for Atlanta. And that was the first time I ever met him. And the way he communicated with me, like, I was starstruck, but he made me so relaxed to the point that I felt like I was talking to my big bro.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
So,
yeah, that's dope. That's dope, man. That's how it was when I met Wyclef. I'm sitting there. I'm like, he just talking to me like he knew me for 100 years, and I'm trying not to like let him know like you're Wyclef. Like I'm really trying my best. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how it was. I know the feeling, bro. Okay, now the new EP, the August 5th, August 5th it dropped. Yes,
right.
So new EP, Convict Culture presents Teemanay. Excuse me, I'm saying it wrong. Teemanay. There we go. I'm reading it fast. My fault. So 4 songs of heat. You know what I'm saying? This is your first official project, correct?
Yeah, it is.
Copy. And what was the inspiration behind it? You know what I'm saying? Because the songs is fire. Like I ain't gonna lie, I'm sitting there jamming to it today. I was like, he got some heat. Like he got some heat. He got some heat. Yeah, he got some heat. Yeah.
Thank you. It was crazy because it actually happened this year. It was after my manager Richard Dean took me to the Grammys. Shout out to Richard Dean for always looking out for me. She actually took me to the Grammys around April. And while we were there in California, you know, it made a lot of wave after that happened because that was my first ever Grammy attendance.
That's what's up.
So it blew up a lot in the net, both in Nigeria and here. So I came back to New York, you know, and my big bro called me, Akon. So he was like, "Yo, T, where you at? You still in LA?" I said, "No, I'm already back." He was like, "Oh, come back to LA. Let's meet in LA and let's make an EP." And I was like, "Wow, okay."
Yeah. Like I said, because you know what, I was gonna ask you the record because I'm listening to the first two. I'm like, all right, those are definitely for the spots. Those are for the brunch spots. Those are for like the, you know what I'm saying, the lounge. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting there digging. I'm like, all right, I got I got the Dropbox. So I'm really listening to it. Like, all right, what can I play? You know what I'm saying? The record "Killing Me." That's my joint right there. So. Killing me is a tough tune.
Killing me is killing you.
Yeah, exactly. Did you write that record together, or how did that record come about?
Yeah, I actually wrote "Killing Me" in my house alone, like in my house by myself.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
So it was when he flew me to LA for the EP recording when I went to Chadine. So in the studio, that was the first beat I played because he told me he had some beats for me and stuff because he kind of sent my songs to a producer, Spells. Shout out to Spells. So Spells listened to my songs and then Spells made beats that would sound like T, like the T type of sound, you know, AfroSwitch. So he said he asked me what I got. So I just played a couple of songs and then I played "Killing Me" and they were like, "Yo, that's fire. I like. Let's start with that one." So I had a whole song. "Killing Me" was a whole record, verse 1, hook, verse 2. And then he was like, "Do you have the file?" Yeah, I always come prepared. Niger boy, we're always ready.
But you got it though. But let me tell you something. That joint is tough. That record is hard, bro. Like, and because you know this, what caught me, what is like how the intro is because you're so seasoned, right? A lot of artists they make the intros way too long. And like you like the way your songwriting is, you break down the intros, you break it down and put something there first. And then you go into it. So I was listening to it. So I listened to it. You know what I'm saying? The song structure, and that's what struck me. And then just so smooth, like it's so well mixed. Like it's smooth as hell. Like it sounds really good. You know?
It is. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, it sounds dope.
That song came out, so I brought out my hard drive, opened the folder of the whole recording. Because whenever I record a song, I make sure I have the whole system, everything, like the whole export, the WAV files, and then I took out the second verse. And then he just jumps on the second verse, and that record was it.
I ain't gonna lie, you got one with that, bro. Like that record is fire for real. And I'm not even just saying that. Like that record is hot. You know, and then we got a few more questions. I do want to ask this because you know, once again, you have the new EP out. You have all the singles. You do the reggae, the AfroSwitch. You know what I'm saying? That's your own lane, your sound. You know what I'm saying? The R&B, the hip hop, the so many different, like a gumball of different sounds and ideas. You know, who's your one dream collaboration that if you say, you know what, I had somebody I could want to work with. Who's your one dream collaboration?
Wow, you slimmed it down to one. That's tough.
Just one. Anyway, don't have to be specific.
Yeah. I want to work with Chris Brown, and I call that into existence.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
We're gonna have a dope song together.
Yeah. I think that's gonna work. And I want to, you know, what's crazy? And how do you feel about because I've been a reggae DJ for years, and I'm like, yo, the way they gobbling up these big, you got Thames, you got Wizkid, Burna Boy. I'm like, wait a minute, when did this happen? Like, how did all, you know what I'm saying? Where did this come? How do you feel about the mainstream artists like the Beyoncés and the Drakes and the Chris Browns trying to steal the sound of the Afrobeats? Even Madonna got a song with Fireboy. Like, I'm like, what is this? Like, this is crazy.
I won't call it stealing.
Yeah.
Because I feel like them trying to hop on it makes me flattered. You know, when people are trying to get into my culture, even if it's my clothes, my sound, or my food, try to cook it and everything, I feel flattered. I don't feel offended. That's my own. I'm speaking from my personal, you know, point of view. So I feel good because all they're trying to do is give us more exposure. Because we've been waiting, and we've always known that Afrobeat was going to take over at a particular time. Fela Kuti, the founder of Afrobeat, who has died a long time ago, said it in 1988 or so in an interview that Afrobeat is going to be the song of the future. And it wasn't going to be like a trend. It wasn't going to be like fashion that will come and go. The Afrobeat will come, and when it comes, everybody will want to be a part of the legacy. So being alive to see that it's happening now is great for me. So I'm really grateful that I'm in a time like this as a new artist as well. And the movement is actually going far. So I don't feel offended, and I don't call it killing. I call it learning. They're learning the culture.
Gotcha.
That is why they're respecting it, because if you notice, most of them, they actually do the collaborations with us. They're not just doing it themselves. So that means they respect it. Madonna is collaborating with Fireboy. Beyonce did a whole Afrobeat album called something like, I think, The Lion King. And she had so many African artists. She had Shatta Wale, she had Mr. E, she had Wizkid, Brown Girl. So that's not cultural appropriation. That is actually learning and doing it the right way. So I love it.
Gotcha. I respect that answer. I appreciate, because like I said, I was in the whole, listen, I was in the trenches. Like I was, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, wait a minute, when did this happen? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm sitting there with like, you know, so I was in the trenches, but I appreciate that answer. That's a really dope answer. And who is your favorite Afrobeats artist besides yourself? Who would you say? Just one. You give one.
Burna Boy.
Burna Boy?
Yeah.
Got you.
Guy.
Got you.
And he inspires me a lot, and I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm proud to say he inspires me a lot. His success story from the ground up to this place is an inspiration, because he's a true definition of the struggle of Nigeria and making it up there. Got
you for sure, man. And what is your ultimate goal with your music career? Like you've been, putting in work for a few years since 2017. You've been, performing all over the world, the Grammy Academy, the things, the big, or touring. What's one your ultimate goal for your music career?
I would say to be able to give back. That's one of my ultimate goals. When I get to that level where I can actually sign other artists or give people opportunities, then I feel like I have really achieved something. Because I want to be able to return this favor that is happening to me now in this part of my life that I'm grateful for. So when I get to that level where I can say, yo, you're so talented, I'm gonna put so $1 million behind you and put you to the world, then I'll feel fulfilled. So that's an ultimate goal for me.
Copy. And one of my last questions is, this industry is a dirty game. It's a slimy game. Especially coming from a foreign country, especially Americans, they have no sense of culture, no sense of value in a way. I'm here. I'll say it for you. What is one thing that you feel like has been the most difficult thing in your career? Like one thing that you feel like, you know what, this has been like really like driving me crazy. Like what's one thing you feel?
I would say is being appreciated, being heard as a musician, because I think every great talented artist goes through that too, through the phase where you're struggling to be heard, you're struggling to be seen and heard, and then there's a lot of overnight kind of success that comes, but though they don't last, but they just take the sound, take the trend, or just become on the mainstream, and then you out there grinding, but nobody's hearing you. You go to somebody who can't even sing as much as you, just being number one due to some machines, and you're like, wow, really God.
Yeah, that's why I said it's a slimy business. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate the answer. Yeah. And my very, very last question. I try to
before, but it's okay.
Yeah, last but not least. You know what I'm saying? That was my last question. But no, because a lot of people listen to my show to feel. I'm always giving game. I'm always giving, teaching artists. What's one piece of advice you would give anybody getting into the entertainment industry?
I'll tell the person to enjoy the process and not try to jump the process. Like I always say, stairs over elevators. And what I mean is climb the stairs to where you're going, take it gradually, learn every aspect so you can appreciate the growth. Because if you want an overnight success, just the way the elevator goes up, that's how the elevator is going to come down. So you got to take the stairs, feel the pain, enjoy the journey. Don't worry about the big no's. Somehow, somewhere in the front, there's going to be yes. So at the end of the day, the summary is just never give up.
There you have it, man. On that note, we all out of here. My guy Teemanay, we popping. We here right now. It's lit, man. That EP out now, man. Where can people find you, my brother?
You can find me on all platforms, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, and all the digital platforms. And the name is the same on all platforms, across all platforms. It's Teemanay, Teemanay.
There you have it, man. It's DJ Chase, the pregame party mix podcast, right here on wdjc-db, DJ Chase Radio, black owned, on 12 mobile apps. The pregame party mix podcast on all podcast platforms, iHeartRadio. You know, there's djchase.net, djchaseradio.com, YouTube, DJ Chase TV. Yeah, DJ Chase TV.
It's official. Come on, lock in with DJ Chase on the pregame party mix.